Hi, folks, and welcome back to SheetsCon. So delighted to have you back here this afternoon. I'm Ben Collins. I'm organizing SheetsCon today, and with me on the stage, I have Alice Keeler. Now, just a quick announcement before we get to Alice's presentation. Just a few more winners of those swag bags for you. So we're giving away some t-shirts and stickers over the course of SheetsCon. So Miles B from Canada, Laura B from Ohio, Alan F from New York, and Shri K from India. Congratulations. You have a lovely swag bags and t-shirts and stickers on their way to you soon. So keep entering that competition, folks. That link is on the reception page. Great. So I'm really excited to have Alice with us today. She's a teacher, an author, edtech innovator, keynote speaker, and a workshop presenter. But most importantly of all, Google has also named her the Queen of Spreadsheets, which I think is the best moniker out there. So really looking forward to seeing what Alice has to show us today. She's going to be demonstrating all sorts of wonderful, fun and innovative things inside of a Google Sheet. So without further ado, if you have any questions for Alice, ask them in the sidebar. I'll be curating those and joining Alice later on for a Q&A session. So thank you very much, Alice, for being with us today. Really looking forward to this talk. I'm going to jump out the way now and let you get going.
Hey, thank you. Thanks for having me, Ben. So I'm Alice Keeler here in sunny California, and I love spreadsheets like nobody loves spreadsheets. So I'm really excited to share this with you. I'm going to switch over to my presentation slides. Let's do this and present. All right, so you will love spreadsheets. My Twitter handle is @AliceKeeler, and the hashtag for today is hashtag SheetsCon 2020. So I hope you'll share some of your best takeaways. Now, when I tell people how much I love spreadsheets, you can imagine sometimes people shudder and like, oh, I don't like spreadsheets. And it turns out, of course they like spreadsheets. I'm just going to show them a few things, and you're going to join me in loving spreadsheets today. That is my goal, is for those of you who are like, what? A spreadsheet? Yeah, totally, a spreadsheet. And you're going to love it. So I think that the answer is always a spreadsheet. If this were a live conference, I'd be handing out these stickers, and I have like 3,000 of them when I'm in person. But this is the best sticker because I would like to argue that the answer is definitely always a spreadsheet. Now, my name is Alice Keeler, and my website is alicekeeler.com, and it is mostly directed at teachers. So I saw several of my teacher friends in the sidebar. Hey guys, I know that you're all familiar with my website, alicekeeler.com, and I've got definitely many blog posts helping you with how to use a spreadsheet and to love it. And next, I have prepared today a spreadsheet. No kidding. I really like to be interactive, and so I would like all of you who are participating in this workshop to please go to alicekeeler.com/SheetsCon. So if you would make the spreadsheet, it's going to prompt you to make a copy. alicekeeler.com/SheetsCon. Let's see if I can get that into the, okay, please go to, let me switch this. I'm typing that into the sidebar, and if a few people could kind of put that again a couple of times. I'm talking to you, Hans. I know you're going to help me out with that. alicekeeler.com/SheetsCon. So anyone who comes in late into the presentation, they're going to want a copy of this spreadsheet because we're going to do this together. And so I'm just going to hang out on that for 1 second. Unavailable due to heavy traffic. Well, that's good news. Eventually, you're going to get in. Let me get the direct link. So if I go to sheets.google.com, I am going to find the SheetsCon. This is it. See if it'll open for me. Okay. Oh, it's even in, for my view, it's showing up in a weird format. So this is a fun problem to have, is having too many people in my spreadsheet. I'm gonna, can I 3 dots? No, I need to do this from Drive. So drive.google.com. This is fine. We're all gonna love having a spreadsheet. AliceKeeler.com/SheetsCon is gonna give you recent and right click, share, copy the link. I'm gonna put this link here to see if it matters. Oh, thank you. I see Wanda's got my back. I'm going to change /edit. You know, actually, I'm going to leave it that way too. So what I have done with the spreadsheet, this is a Google Sheets trick. At the end of the Sheets link, and this actually works for docs and slides and everything, you take off the /edit and you replace it with /copy, and it forces a copy when you share the link. So the second one that I just shared that doesn't have the /copy, you'll have to file, make a copy, but I thought maybe that would make it faster. So if you go there, it should prompt you to make a copy, and then we should not all be in the same document. So hopefully that's not, okay, Miriam's in, awesome. Yes, Michelle, I broke the internet. It's like a badge of honor. Okay, so well, I'll show you. So either way, you can watch me, and later, AliceKeeler.com/SheetsCon will work for you. So let's go ahead and switch over. Show you my spreadsheet, my entire screen. Let's get rid of that and get rid of that. And and now apparently iTunes wants to jump in. Now, once you make a copy, it should come to a sheet that looks like this. Now, part of my reasoning here is I want to show off my cool spreadsheet skills. And so now that you have made a copy, once you open it, the first thing you're going to do is check off this first challenge. What you should notice is that it has a level up bar. So that 5 points just gave us a little dent, getting us into level 2. And so we're going to work on getting up to level 3. So this one's free because obviously you made a copy of this spreadsheet, since you can check and uncheck the checkbox. And notice that my picture changes. Now, if you click on any of these cells, you can see my secret. So when I click on my badge image of level 1 up here, you can see up at the top in the address bar my formula. Now, this whole session is for people who are afraid and intimidated by spreadsheets. So don't look at that. That's for later. But for those of you who are like, how'd she do that? Feel free to click around and you can see the formulas up there. So we're going to go ahead and check that off. And hopefully you're all good to go. And I'm going to switch back to my slides really quick. So AliceKeeler.com/SheetsCon should give you a copy of the spreadsheet. And what you're going to do is figure out, what level are you? So of that list of things that I'm going to try to get through today, and I anticipate I won't quite make it through all of them before Ben tells me it's time to answer questions. But if you want to go through and checkbox really quick which ones you already know how to do, what level are you? So go ahead and take a quick second to read through the list. What do you already know how to do? Let's switch over. Checking in. Do you know how to do checkboxes? Freeze the first row, column headers, alternate row colors, add a new sheet, change the tab name, finish a pattern, share a link to a sheet, resize rows and columns, merge, set word wrap, and can you link to a particular cell? And can you, if you do something, then what? And finally, format painter. So let's see how many of these we can get through today. Go back to my slides. Now, here's something that I've added as an extra bonus is SheetsCon. You'll notice up at the top of your spreadsheet, it says SheetsCon. I've coded this menu. Now, did you know you can code Google Sheets? You can add JavaScript in the back end. So that's what I've done. So if you click on SheetsCon, it says Ask Alice, and it is going to give you a super scary authorization screen. Don't stress out about it. I personally coded this. This is going to say scary things. Just say yes. So the first thing it's going to do is going to say authorization required, and you're going to click continue. And then it says, this app isn't verified. No one at Google has looked at this. That's right. I made this for SheetCon, not for Google. So you're going to want to click there on advanced. Advanced. Click on advanced. Don't click back to safety. It's safe. It is safe. How do I get this bar to go away? And slide 10, go away. It's covering my screen. They can. But I don't know why it won't go away. Like, I'm not touching it. It should go away. Okay, so then where this bar at the bottom is hiding the bottom of my screen for some reason, it says advanced, and then it says unsafe. It's just saying Google is not going to vouch for me, and they're not going to vouch for me because I didn't submit it to them to look at. So you're going to click on advanced and unsafe. I know, seems crazy. Just do it. And then on the next screen, it gives you other things like, hey, Alice can delete all of your files. No, I can't. You made a copy. You are the owner of the copy of your spreadsheet. So you're giving yourself permission to your own drives, sheets, slides, and everything else. And so don't worry about it. Just say yes. Just say yes. Okay. Anna, I got my assistant Anna here with me. Let me switch back here. And yeah, here. Oh, I'm in the slides. Okay. I'm going to switch back. Anna, you keeping up? Mm-hmm. Going at a good speed? We were able to make a copy of the spreadsheet and authorize the add-on. Yes. Just a quick check in the sidebar. Okay. All right. So we ready? We're going to keep going. I'm going to switch to screen sharing again. And one last time. I think my internet's just unhappy with me right now. Okay, so right, alicekeeler.com/sheetscon gives you a copy of that spreadsheet. And if someone could keep adding that to the chat on the side every so often, I would appreciate it. My question to you is, what can you not do in a spreadsheet? I'm going to be cheeky and say you could do everything in a spreadsheet, and you should challenge me on this. For those of you like, well, I never use spreadsheets. You should be doing everything in a spreadsheet. So now if you will notice on the spreadsheet, I have a column that says ask a question. If you type a question into any of those cells, if you single click on the cell, you can either click on the little Alice Bitmoji because I'm able to attach code to my pictures, or back up just a little bit. If you go to the SheetsCon menu at the top, it says Ask Alice. So let's go ahead and try those. So you'll notice here, if I come over to the right a little bit, it says Ask a question. Alice, how did you get so good at spreadsheets? Right, so I've asked my question. I'm going to single click on this cell, and I go up here to SheetsCon and choose Ask Alice from the menu, or I just click on the Alice Bitmoji, and I am going to authorize this for you really quick. Don't look at that. Advanced, unsafe, allow, amazing. And let's take a look at what that does. I'm going to go back to my slides. And what you will notice is that I coded is that when you ask me a question, your question is in my slides. Now, somebody has clicked on a blank slide, or excuse me, a blank cell and asked me a question. And so I made a blank slide. If I can, slides and sheets. That's too many S's to go on with. Thank you. I appreciate that you think this is great. How can I alternate row colors? I'm going to show you that. Thanks for asking. Let's take a look over here on the spreadsheet. If you come down to alternate row colors, now this is quest number 5, so I'm probably going to get here. But if I don't stress. Do you see here where it says, click here for more? If you click here for more, it's got a link. It has a link. Where's that going? When I open that link, it's going to take you to my slides presentation. Whoa, hold up. It jumps you down to slide 221, which will only temporarily be 221. And it gives you the instructions for each of those things in the spreadsheet. So if I go too fast or I don't get there, don't worry, because each what is this? I can't see the column. In column I, each of them has a click here for more. It actually links to my exact slides presentation. So what you're going to notice in my slides, that one's already loaded, so let's do this one. Whoa, we got a lot of them. Is at the top, slide 1 is my slides, and I come down to slide 17, and it says questions, and every time you use the Ask Alice menu, I have coded Google Sheets to send your question to my slides. It was a few years ago. This is an ongoing title. And how can I make Sheets more mobile friendly? You have to use the app. The app is so good. I'm like constantly amazed. They're always adding new features to it. You can do a lot with the Google Spreadsheets. Hello. We already knew that. See, this does work. How long is a piece of string? It depends on how many characters are in your sentence. Okay. And then at the bottom, below all of your questions, below all your questions, here we go. I appreciate all of the participation happening right now. Woo! Okay, here we go. You'll see this is where the tutorial slides are. So right now it's slide 224, but that is going to change quickly as you ask me questions into the spreadsheet. And you will see I actually have all of the tutorials down here at the bottom. And that is where each of these spreadsheet links are linking to. Now let me ask my assistant Anna, who is here doing this presentation with me. Anna, did that make sense? Okay, so I have one slides. The top is my slides. In the middle is the questions that are populated from the spreadsheet. And at the bottom is the tutorials. Because what's cool about not only Google Slides and is also Google Sheets is that when I'm looking at a sheet, when I'm looking at a slide, the link at the top goes directly to that slide or that sheet. So that's how I was able to pull off that trick. Okay, and let's screen share back. Am I good? I think so. Wait, well, you can. Oh, no. Sorry. This is recorded. You can watch a second time. All right. So that was just an introduction to what I'm going to do. I haven't actually done anything yet. So what we're going to do is the best feature of Google Sheets is, in my opinion, checkboxes. It's a relatively new feature, and I just don't know how I've lived my life without it. It's like the best feature ever. So if you will look at the bottom of your spreadsheet, it says try it. So I'm going to show it, and then I'm going to pause for a second so you can try it, and then come back to the presentation. So when I click on try it, you'll notice that I have added first and last name into this spreadsheet. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight the cells next to their names. And I go insert. Look how easy this is. How can you not love this? Insert menu, checkbox. What? I can just checkbox next to people's names? Seriously, this is the best thing ever. Like the best thing ever. All right, so now if you will give that a go. So on your spreadsheet, you'll notice there's 2 tabs down at the bottom. Just knowing that a spreadsheet has more than one tab is half the battle. So your first tab is your challenges, and your second tab says try it. So you're gonna highlight the cells right next to the names, insert menu, check boxes, and try checking them off. Now, for those of you who would like a little advanced technique, space bar. So if you click on a cell or highlight a range of cells and you hit the space bar, it toggles the check boxes on and off, which I just love, especially when I have a lot of them, because tediously clicking like that is no bueno. So space bar for those who want a tip. Okay, my entire screen. And just a few more checks on my check boxes because I love it so much. All right, so I'm back on the mark off tab, and I'm gonna mark off quest 2, and you can now see I'm about halfway. I am about halfway in my quest to get to level 3. And the next thing I'm gonna do is freeze the first row. Now, the first thing I do when I get into a spreadsheet, this is almost always my first step, freezing the first row. So I'm going to come back to the Try It tab. Now, in Excel, this can be a little bit tricky. In Sheets, it's like one of the best things ever. As I hover over what I call the awesome box is to the left of the column indicator A, and above the row indicator 1 is this empty space. Now, notice these thick bars that as I hover over it, they turn blue. See, look at that. Turns blue, and it turns into a grabby hand. So I grab it, I click and hold down, and I pull that down, and that freezes the first row. And so that's all I have to do is grab and drag to freeze the first row of a spreadsheet. Now, if you would rather, you can go to View, Freeze, and you can freeze your rows using the View menu. Now, once you figure out the grabby hand trick, though, I really doubt you're going to want to go all the way to the top of the screen to view the freeze bar when you can just, select it all, drag this down, and you can do a horizontal freeze. I drag this to the right. So now when I scroll in my spreadsheet, column A stays put. Okay, so I'm going to click back on the mark off tab. I'm going to wait a second for you to try to freeze your first row of your spreadsheet while I checkbox. I did that. Now you will notice that I have added badges into the spreadsheet. So I have my nice chili badge that I have frozen the first row. So Anna, were you able to successfully freeze the first row? Yep. Super. We're going to move on then. Your job, everybody, is to keep up with Anna. Okay, head of the class. We're going to do column headers. So let's spot back over to Try It. And I have these 3 columns, but what are they? So I'm going to, up here in row 1, I'm going to type paid. Now, it will hurt my soul right now if you touch the mouse. Like, if I watch you using a spreadsheet and you were to touch the mouse right now, it would pain me physically. I'm going to click on the Tab key. Tab. And now I am in B1. And this is first name. Don't touch the mouse. Don't do it. Tab. Last name. These are column headers. It is good practice to always label each of your columns in a spreadsheet. A spreadsheet is just a table. But what's in your table? Help people out and let them know. Now, just for fun, I'm going to click the row 1 indicator, and I'm going to find the paint can, and I'm going to make it blue. I'm going to make the font. I like this font, and I'm going to make it bigger, and I'm going to make the first name part, if I find alpha, and make it hot pink. So here's just a fun little extra bonus. You can make the individual words in the cell formatted differently, which I think is super fun. So go ahead, give it a try, adding column headers on the Try It page, and then check off on your spreadsheet. Good to go? All right. Now, if you really want to love spreadsheets, you're going to love this. I am going to highlight columns A, B, and C. Now, this can be really tricky with a mouse, is to try and get A, B, and C, or whichever columns you're trying to highlight. That can be tricky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to single click on column A and hold down the shift key. Shift key, right arrow, or right arrow, right arrow, right arrow. I'm holding down the shift key, left and right arrows. Makes it easier to select the cells and columns and rows and things that I'm trying to do. And once I do that, I just go to the Format menu. And it says Alternating Colors. Format, Alternating Colors. And then over here on the side, what color do you want to make them? I'm going to use purple because it's like my logo color. And now you will see it automatically alternates the colors in what I highlighted. Now this is kind of fun, right? You're like, it's gray and it's purple. What does that mean? That means the checkboxes are font color. What? Yeah, that's right. Checkboxes are font color. So I can now make this yellow, and now my checkboxes are yellow. It's just font color. What? Look how fun that is. Now I have rainbow colored checkboxes. I don't even know how to contain myself right now. How are we doing, Anna? Good. Yeah, good? So Anna, so far, what's your favorite part?
Shift moving.
Okay, Anna likes shift with the arrow keys. So someone asked how my heart in the spreadsheet name is red colored. I went to emojipedia.com, and you can put emojis in pretty much everything in Google. Google Classroom, obviously spreadsheets, you can add those. And so let me show you something extra fun right now, since you asked. Okay, and I am going to go back to my spreadsheet. I'm going to add a new tab. I'm going to go to emojipedia.com, or switches to emojipedia.org. I'm going to type in poo, because who doesn't love poo? Pile of poo. You're not doing this, by the way. This is a bonus. I'm going to copy a pile of poo. Now, back on my mark-off sheet, you'll see here that I have a star, and I'm going to replace that with a pile of poo. And now, suddenly, I have poos in my spreadsheet. How can you say you don't love a spreadsheet when you can put poo in your spreadsheet? Honest to goodness, it's the best day ever. All right, so we have now done alternating the row colors. The Emojipedia poo was bonus, so please don't text me, hey Alice, you went too fast on that. But let's go ahead and check our spreadsheet to see if anybody left me some recent questions. Oh, slides. Gee, dang it, slide sheets. It's going to be tough for me. Okay, click here for more. I expect to see a bunch of those. Okay, so those are the same ones. No one's asked me a new question. Super. All right, wait, there's more? Of course there's more. Go back to the Try It tab. No, I don't have to go there. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a sheet. So you'll see in the bottom left, it has a plus icon to add a sheet. And I'm going to add the sheet. It says sheet 10. And then I'm going to double click on it and type Google Sheets Rocks. Now here's a fact. You cannot have two tabs with the same name. It will give you an error. So make sure all of your tab names are unique. Let me do that again. I double clicked and I can just rename it. Now, what you should always be looking at is these tiny triangles. If you're a Google user, tiny triangles make you so excited. So if you click on the tiny triangle on any of the tabs, it does give you all of these lovely options, which I really like to change the color so I can color code the tabs. Now I know I have a few teachers in the audience, and here's my trick is when I have students use a collaborative spreadsheet, which is one of my favorite things to do, when they're done with their sheet, they change the color of the tab so I know they've done their work. All right, I'm sure I could think of a business application for you, but that's my education application. So it's back to the spreadsheet. We added a new spreadsheet. What's my name? We double clicked on the tab, so I'm just going to pause for a second, let you add a sheet and double click. Okay. And then if you'll notice, right next to the plus icon adds a sheet, and then right next to it, I call this the Big Mac. For those of you who like to call the 3 lines menu a hamburger, well, if that's a hamburger, then this is a Big Mac. So I'm going to click on the Big Mac icon, and it's going to show me all the sheets in the spreadsheet. You'll notice I have some that are hidden It's not so hidden, are they? And you're able to move back and forth between the different sheets using the Big Mac icon. That again is a bonus. Although if you want, you can come down to the bottom, and I don't have a quest number 16. So if you want to make one and call it the Big Mac, dump sheets with the navigation, I don't know, whatever it's called. And then I guess you can decide how hard was that. It wasn't very hard. So I'm going to give it a 1. Oops. Formula didn't extend down. And 5, and check that off. And I just gave myself more points, like on the fly. Look at me. So tricky. All right, speaking of, you're like, what did you just do? I copy and pasted down. So I'm going to use my Big Mac and go to my Google Sheets Rocks sheet. If you're like, what are you talking about? Just make a new sheet. Add sheet. Here we are. All right. And so what you want to do is make patterns. So I'm going to type 1, 2. I'm going to make a pattern. I'm going to highlight the pattern. Now you're like, Alice, I'm trying to do this with a trackpad, and that was very difficult. You are right. Trying to highlight cells with a trackpad takes practice. I am using a trackpad. So I'm going to single click, shift, down arrow. Anna, it's like sighing relief that I've now just saved her hours of her life, as it is tricky with a trackpad, as I see you using a trackpad, Anna. All right, so what did I do? Shift, hold down the shift key and use the arrow keys, and it's so much easier for you to go ahead and select whatever range. We are going to highlight our pattern, and my pattern is 1 and 2. And then you see this little square in the corner, and I'm going to click. I'm holding my mouse down right on that corner, and I'm going to pull it down. Pulling it down. What? I just numbered from 1 to 80. All right, I'm going to pause for a second. Why don't you give that a try? You are going to type some sort of a pattern, like I'm going to do 5 and 10. Highlight, grab the square, pull down. I'm going to type 7 and 11. And I'm going to highlight this, but instead of pulling down, I'm going to pull to the right. Oh my gosh, look at me. Whatever the pattern is, it's going to extend it. Wait, what? Monday, Tuesday? That's my pattern. Highlight, pull it down. What if I just type Alice and I only click on one cell? Well, what's the pattern? There is no pattern, so it's just going to copy it a bunch of times. What? All right, so why don't you play with patterns for a second? Switch back over here. And I love this. And actually, if you really think about your spreadsheet, you don't need to use any numbers at all. It's a giant table. So like I said, what can you not do with a spreadsheet? It's just, someone said this to me, it's just organizing your information. Yeah, you want that. Organizing good, disorganized bad. So you just take your spreadsheet and you organize your information in a table. And when you need to number things, which of course you do, you type 1 and 2 and you drag it down and it's numbered 10,000 times faster. Life just gets so good. So the other thing is if you type a formula, which I'm not getting into right now, because I'm trying to convince you don't even need numbers. You can just make words and copy and paste them, and it's awesome in your spreadsheet. But if you have a formula and you drag that down, it will copy and paste the formula, but it actually copy and paste the pattern. So I'll just leave it at that. All right, let's switch back. And am I on screen share? Perfect. All right, go back to the mark-off tab. I have typed my patterns, and I am level 4. I am level 4 with 9 badges. All right, so now I'm working on getting my way up to level 5. And we are already on quest number 9. Let's do this. This says copy the URL to a particular sheet and share it. So I am going to use my Big Mac, and I'm going to go to the Google Sheets Rocks. So this often happens. There's a lot of sheets in a spreadsheet, and I send it to someone where I've got like the budget or something on one of the other tabs, and they're like, I don't see it. Okay, so a lot of people don't realize that spreadsheets have multiple sheets, or they just didn't look. And of course, we like to use Big Mac, but not everyone knows that trick. So if I go to the sheet that I want to share, so let's say that this is my budget sheet. In fact, I'm just going to make a budget sheet. I'm going to double click. I'm going to call it budget. Now I'm on my budget sheet and I'm going to merge some cells. Mergey, mergey. I'm going to get into that in a second. And, I know that you would like to add Bitmoji to it because who doesn't? All right, right click, copy the image address, equals image. Throw my Bitmoji in there. That was bonus. So again, not part of my presentation. I'm really just showing off that I can stick a Bitmoji in my cells. Okay, so this is my budget tab. And if I Control L, highlight the URL, Control L is up here. When you look at the address bar at the top, you want to highlight that. And notice at the end, this is incredibly tiny because even when I zoom in, it does not zoom in on the address bar. But you'll notice at the end, it says /edit, hashtag, GID equals, and a bunch of numbers. That is the ID number of that sheet. So this link opens up this sheet. So if I Control L, highlight the URL, Control C, copy, and I email someone or I put it into a chat, it's going to open up to my budget tab. It will not open up to the mark off. It's going to open up to wherever I said for you to go. So I'm able to direct you exactly to this spot, which is exactly what I did in my Google Slides. So in the Google Slides, I built slides that had tutorials. Let's scroll all the way down here. So here I'm on slide 250, which you notice originally it was not slide 250. It's only slide 250 after you used my code to add some questions. And you'll notice up in my slides, again, incredibly tiny, sorry about that, but at the end it has a slide ID. So I copied that slide ID, and when I use Control K, hyperlink with a K, Control K hyperlinks, I was able to hyperlink from my spreadsheet to the exact slide, but I could do that in reverse from my slides. If I want you to go to a particular sheet on my spreadsheet, I would highlight some words, Control K, hyperlink, Control V, and that is the Bitmoji. Hold on, Control L, Control C, I got this. But again, Control V, and that is linking to the exact sheet in my spreadsheet. Now, I'm just gonna push escape because you actually don't have permissions to my spreadsheet. All right, that's fine, Okay, so now, where are we? On our mark off sheet. We have copied the URL to a particular sheet. I am now level 4 with 10 badges. Alice, what the heck is this? How'd you make this progress bar? It is a spark line. If you click on the progress bar, you can see my formula. If you want to check it out, that's obviously more advanced, so that's just for those of you who are wondering. Spark line. Okay, we're going to have it your way. We are on quest number 10. I love me a good paint can. Whoop. We are on quest number 10, and we're going to resize some rows and columns. I'm going to click on the Try It tab. Now look at how much extra spacing is here with this paid checkbox. Paid checkbox. So what I want to do is I want to hover my mouse in between the column indicators so that the mouse icon changes. I'm going to hold down with my mouse, and you can see I can drag the width of my column to be wider and skinnier. It's really kind of cathartic and fun. Now notice in column B, it's cutting off where it says first name. So if I get in between B and C and I double click, it auto resizes. Let me try that again because I'm going to shrink it up and make it really small. Like, that doesn't fit in there. Okay, I'm going to double click. So in between the B and the C, I'm going to double click and it's going to auto resize. And so I can make these as wide or as skinny as I want. And if you want a trick, notice I've highlighted all 3 of these. If I resize one column, it resizes all of them. I'm going to add a new sheet. Check this out. I'm going to click what I call the awesome box. It's to the left of the A and above the 1, and it selects all. And then I'm going to resize a column I'm going to resize a row. It really doesn't matter which column or which row, but all the ones that are highlighted, resize the same. Okay, so over here in the mark off tab, I'm going to mark off that I did resize rows and columns. I think I've marked them all off. Now, if you want, use my arrow. I got this ask a question column. Right? Now you have to make sure that you have selected the cell and then either click the Alice Bitmoji or use the SheetsCon menu up at the top. So do you have a question? Let's find out. Coming up. All right. Checkboxes are my favorite. Just going to say so. All right, questions, false. Okay, so it's just me asking questions. No one else wants to ask me a question. Sometimes I just say, I'm going to wait till someone asks me a good question. But so far, no, true, sure. You have to click on the cell that has the question. 7. That maybe be the answer to all of life's problems. All right, once you have turned on alternating colors, how do you turn them off? Great question. So go to the try it. I'm going to highlight these and format, clear formatting. Now the problem is if I clear the formatting, it gets rid of everything. So that's one way, but not a great way. Control Z is your best friend with using a spreadsheet, honest to goodness, because all the time you accidentally type on top of something. Whoops. So the problem with a spreadsheet, you just single click and it overwrites it. If you want to edit, you have to double click so you can edit. Single click overwrites. You're like, oh my gosh, I have just like for realsies just completely messed up this spreadsheet. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. You just really can't use spreadsheets without Control Z. That is a life secret. If I highlight my columns and I right click and I come down and it says conditional formatting data range. A lot of times, sometimes that includes, depends on how I highlight. Okay, format, alternating colors, format, alternating colors. Let's just put it back the way it was with gray. It's still alternating. Remove, there we go. It's so zoomed in, I missed it. Remove alternating colors. There we go, gone. That's how you do it. I never tried to remove them. Good to know. Okay, last chance. Let me look and see if you've asked me a question. I know what you did here. Click here for more. How did you set this up to put the question on the spreadsheet in the presentation? No, you have to, I coded it. It's specifically coded. It's not that many lines of code, but it is code. Oh, you want an Easter egg. All right, let's look. I'm going to add a sheet. And I think if I do P tab, R tab, I tab, D tab, E, it changes it into rainbow colors. There is your Easter egg for spreadsheets. What else we got? Anybody? Someone's going to give me a bit.ly, and I'm not clicking on people's random links. That is a digital citizenship life skill. Don't click on links. I wonder what this link from someone I don't know is. Don't do that. Thank you. How do you link your Bitmoji to your custom script? I will go ahead and I will show you that. So I'm going to get my Bitmoji. And I am going to right click. I'm going to save the image as, and I have a reason for doing it that way instead of copying the link. And I'm going to insert image, and I want the image in the cell or over the cell. In this case, I want it over the cell. And now I can drag from the download bar. Did you know you could do that? When stuff downloads to the download bar, you can drag it right from the bottom into your Google Slides and your Google Doc, but not your Sheets. So if you would like to do the dragging, you do have to do the insert image part first. Anna, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. It's a little unfair because Anna works for me and she knows things that I do. But now you'll notice I've got this Bitmoji floating above my spreadsheet. And wait, what's that? Things you should be excited about. If you see a tiny triangle, click on it. And if you see 3 dots, click on it. And it says assign script. And my script was named Ask Alice. How do I know that? Because I wrote it. And so now I'm going to type Alice coded this and click here. And I'm going to click on my Bitmoji because I assigned the script to the image. That should now, boom, there it is, sent it in there. All right. You like changing the color on the tabs. Can you change text color? It is not rich text on the tabs. Is it possible to have multiple? No. Cannot have multiple hyperlinks. The easy answer, no. I mean, one thing you could do, come over here and I'm like http alicekeeler.com, http desmos.com, and make this column a little bit wider. And I'm going to go view and I'm going to turn off grid lines. And if I highlight these and I'm going to do my grid lines manually, go to the borders and I am going to do just the outer edge. It looks like it's one cell. And it looks like I have 2 hyperlinks in one cell, but the truth is they're 2 separate cells. So I hope that answered your question. Got my poo emojis. Okay, so now I'm a teacher and I love spreadsheets and I want students to respond in spreadsheets. So what do I like to do is I like to challenge people. Wait, which one of these is the right one? Turn on that one. Yes, right? I like to challenge people. What can you not do in a spreadsheet? And of course, in a room full of teachers, someone always comes back and tells me, Alice, you can't write an essay in a spreadsheet. You can't write an essay in a spreadsheet. Of course you can. In fact, it gets even better in a spreadsheet because I have all these organizational cells where they can link to all of their research and their sources, and they can have a box for their first paragraph, second paragraph. So let's take a look at how we would do that. Okay, so let's screen share back, share, right? So I'm going to merge, I'm going to highlight a bunch of cells, and I'm going to merge and make one big cell. Oh, it just looks so pretty. Giant cell! And then I like to fill it in yellow because I'm like, hey, put your answer in there. All right, right here, all right? And then what happens is the quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Well, that looks terrible. Okay, that's because you didn't do middle, middle, middle. That's important. Middle, middle, middle. So I know all of you know what centering looks like. So we're going to find the centering icon, and that's a tiny triangle, y'all. A tiny triangle. So I'm going to click the tiny triangle and do it in the middle. I'm going to next one, middle, middle, middle. Middle, middle, middle. Next one, vertical alignment in the middle. And here's the magic sauce to loving spreadsheets. If you know how to do word wrap, suddenly spreadsheets are your best friend because that's how you can use it for everything. So I'm going to choose wrap. Now I'm going to make these 3 smaller so you can see that it actually wraps. So the text wraps within the cell. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this one skinnier. I'm going to make this one wider, and I'm going to say teacher feedback. And so now as a teacher, I can insert comments here, and I can tell the student to put research, links. Now you remember anything I want them to do, I use the yellow paint can, but I can help them organize up all their information and their brainstorms around, put your answer in here. So they're going to put their paragraph. And so you can use this for all kinds of things. Now, the student types in here, but notice this is my sheet 15. I can drag them. I'm going to rename this. Put your answer in here, right? If you right click on that cell, look at this. get link to this range. It is going to give me the link to this exact cell, but that's not so exciting. So I'm going to come way the heck down here to where I am in Y684. And I'm going to highlight a bunch of cells. And in the toolbar, if you're wondering why I have this 3 dots with the toolbar, it just depends on how wide your screen is. The toolbar can only hold so many icons depending on how wide your screen is, and it kind of has an overflow into the 3 dots. If you have a wide screen, you won't have any overflow. I'm zoomed in, so I have overflow. Merge cells looks like 2 arrows that are about to punch each other. I click that, it makes a giant box, and of course I'm going to middle, make my font bigger. I'm going to change my font, and I'm going to make it yellow. And this is my answer, Keeler. Apparently can't type my own name. Give me credit. All right, so I'm way down here at cell Y684. My odds of finding this when I open up student work is 0. So if they right click and get the link to this range, Control T, new tab, Control V, paste. If they send me this link either in an email or a chat, or because I'm a teacher, put it into Google Classroom, it's going to open the spreadsheet exactly to sheet 15, which I renamed to put your answer in here, Y684, no scrolling. Take that, Google Docs. All right, mark off. What do I got going on here? Okay, we merged. Test 11, we got there. We did middle. Checking that one off. Look at me, level 5. Looky. Woo! And I am not, I'm over here. We did this when we linked to a merge cell and we right-clicked to get the link. And I think I am out of time. Is Ben coming back? Did I do this wrong? Are we out of time?
Hi, Alice. There we go. I didn't want to interrupt. I was really mesmerized myself.
I told you. He said, when you have a break. Like,
Exactly. And also, you were sweeping up all those questions with such aplomb. There was no need for me to jump in to do any kind of Q&A with you. That was an amazing presentation, Alice.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed that. Folks, my favorite tip there was one about using checkboxes and using the space bar to toggle them on and off. Such a pro tip, that one. So thanks. I really enjoyed that, Alice. So folks, we're going to wrap up here with Alice. So big shout out to Alice in the sidebar. Big thank you to Alice. And you can find her on Twitter and her website at alicekeeler.com. So please go and check out her work if you're not already familiar with it. We'll be jumping off the live stream just for a few minutes, and we're coming back at 5 p.m. with Google developer expert Martin Hawksey, who's going to give a glimpse into the future of how we control our spreadsheets with our voices. So I can't wait for that one. So again, Alice, big thank you to you for being here today. It was a real honor, and we'll see you again soon, folks.